Chapter 7. We're reading today Further Inquiries by Vidura. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, while Maitreya, the great sage, was thus speaking, Vidura, the learned son of Dvaipayavasya, expressed a request in a pleasing manner by asking this question. Sri Vidura said, O great Brahmana, since the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the complete spiritual whole and is unchangeable, how is he connected with the material modes of nature and their activities? Is this his pastime? How do the activities in the unchangeable take place and exhibit qualities without the modes of nature? Boys are enthusiastic to play with other boys or various diversions because they are encouraged by desire. But there is no possibility of such desire for the Lord because he is self-satisfied and detached from everything at all times. By his self-sheltered potency of the three modes of material nature, the Lord has caused the creation of this universe. By her he maintains the creation and conversely dissolves it again and again. The pure soul is pure consciousness and is never out of consciousness, either due to circumstances, time, situations, dreams, or other causes. So how does he become engaged in nescience? The pure soul, the Lord, the super soul, is situated in every living being's heart. Why then do the living entities' activities result in misfortune and misery? Great and learned one, my mind is greatly illusioned by the distress of this nescience, and I therefore request you to clear it up. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, King Maitreya, being thus agitated by the inquisitive Vidura, at first seemed astonished. But then he replied to him without hesitation, since he was fully God-conscious. Sri Maitreya said, Certain conditioned souls put forward the theory that the Supreme Brahman, or Lord Vishnu, is overcome by illusion, or Maya. At the same time, they maintain that he is unconditioned. This is against all logic. The living entity is in distress regarding his self-identity. He has no factual background, like a man who dreams that he sees his head cut off. As the moon reflected on water appears to the seer to tremble due to being associated with the quality of water, so the self associated with matter appears to be qualified as matter. But that misconception of self-identity can be diminished gradually by the mercy of Lord Vishnu, Vasudeva, through the process of devotional service to a Lord in the mode of detachment. When the senses are satisfied in the seer supersoul, Lord Vishnu, and merge in him, all miseries are completely vanquished, as after a sound sleep. Simply by chanting and hearing of the transcendental form, name, etc. of Lord Vishnu, Sri Krishna, one can achieve the cessation of unlimited miserable conditions. Therefore, what to speak of those who have attained attraction for serving the flavor of the dust of the Lord's lotus feet? Vidura said, powerful sage, my Lord, all my doubts about the Supreme Personality and the living entities have now been removed by your convincing words. My mind is now perfectly entering into him. Learned sage, your explanations are very good, as they should be. Disturbances to the conditioned soul have no other basis than the movement of the external energy of the Lord. Both the lowest of fools and he who is transcendental to all intelligence enjoy happiness, whereas in persons between them suffer the material pangs. My dear sir, I am obliged to you because now I can understand that this material manifestation is without substance, although it appears real. I am confident that by serving your feet it will be possible for me to give up the false idea. By serving the feet of the spiritual master, one is enabled to develop transcendental ecstasy in the service of Lord Vishnu, who is the unchangeable enemy of the Madhu demon and whose service vanquishes everyone's material desires. Persons whose austerity is meager can hardly obtain the service of the pure devotees who are progressing on the path back to the kingdom of Godhead. Pure devotees engage 100% in glorifying the Supreme Lord, who is the Lord of the demigods and the controller of all living entities. After creating the total material energy, the Mahatattva, and thereby manifesting the gigantic universal form with senses and sense organs, the Supreme Lord entered within it. The Purusha incarnation lying on the casual ocean is called the original Purusha in the material creations, and his Virat form in whom all the planets and their inhabitants live, he has many thousands of legs and hands. Great Brahmana, you have told me that the gigantic Virat form and his sense objects, and the 10 kinds of air, life, exist with 3 kinds of life vigor. Now, if you will, kindly explain to me the different powers of the scientific divisions. My lord, I think that the process manifest in the forms of sons, grandsons, and family members has spread all over the universe in different varieties and species. Lord Brahmana, please describe how the leader of all the demigods, namely the Prajapati, Brahma, decided to establish the various Manus, the heads of the ages. Please describe the Manus also, and describe the descendants of those Manus. Son of Mitra, kindly describe how the planets are situated above the earth as well as underneath it, and also please mention their measurement as well as that of the earthly planets. Also, please describe the living beings under different classifications: subhumans, humans, those born of the embryo, those born of perspiration, those who are twice born, and the plants and vegetables. Kindly describe their generations and subdivisions also. Please also describe the incarnations of the material modes of nature, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshvara. And please describe the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his magnanimous activities. Great Sage, kindly describe the divisions and orders of human society in terms of symptoms, behavior, and the characteristics of mental equilibrium and sense control. And please describe the births of the great sages and the categorical divisions of the Vedas. Would you also please describe the expansions of different sacrifices and the paths of mystic powers, analytical study of knowledge, and the devotional service, all with their respective regulations? And please describe the imperfections and contradictions of the faithless atheists, the situation of crossbreeding, and the movements of the living entities and various species of life according to their particular modes of nature and work. You may also describe the non-contradictory causes of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and salvation, and also the different means of livelihood and different processes of law and order as mentioned in the revealed scriptures. And please also explain the regulations for offering respects to the forefathers, the creation of the Pitraloka, the time schedule in the planets, stars, and luminaries, and their respective situations. Please also describe the fruitive results of charity and penance, and of digging reservoirs of water. Please describe the situation of persons who are away from home, and also the duty of a man in an awkward position. As in this one, because of Lord Vishnu, the controller of all living entities, is the father of all religion, and all those who are candidates for religious activities, kindly describe how he can be completely satisfied. Best among the Brahmanas, those who are spiritual masters are very kind to the needy. They are always kind to their followers, disciples, and sons, and without being asked by them, the spiritual master describes all that is knowledge. Please describe how many dissolutions there are for the elements of material nature, and who survives after the dissolutions to serve the Lord while he is asleep. What are the truths regarding the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead? What are their identities? What are the specific values in the knowledge of the Vedas, and what are the necessities for the spiritual master and his disciples? Spotless devotees of the Lord have mentioned the source of such knowledge. How could one have knowledge of devotional service and attachment without help of such devotees? My dear sage, I have put all these questions before you with a view to knowing the pastimes of Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are a friend to all, so kindly describe them all for those who have lost their vision. Your answers to these questions will grant immunity from all material miseries. Such charity is greater than all Vedic charities, sacrifices, and penances. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said. Thus the chief of sages, who was always enthusiastic about describing topics regarding Lord Vishnu, began to narrate the descriptive explanation of the Puranas, being so infused by Vidura. He is very much enlivened by speaking on the transcendental activities of the Lord. Thus ends this chapter. A couple little random thoughts. One, do all these questions actually get answered? There's so many questions that are asked in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and sometimes I don't think they're actually all answered. Also, if you had the opportunity to sit with a guru, would you pick their brain like this? Would you be more selective? Because it's like there's just so many questions. I don't know. There was also something else here I wanted. Oh, I thought this was really interesting. let's see. Please describe who survives after the dissolution of the world to serve the Lord while he is asleep. I never thought of that. The Lord is sleeping for who knows how long. There's no one to serve the Lord, right? I never thought of that question before. I hopefully will get the answer. And one more thing, did you notice a reference to the flat earth theory? So people talk about the flat earth theory occasionally with a chuckle, and they give all this criticism. Oh, well, they believe that this science book or this science book or that science book says this, and those are all garbage books. If you ever look in the theory, though, it will never mention the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, according to some, not everybody, according to some, the Srimad Bhagavatam endorses a flat earth theory. So here is a book hundreds of years old endorsing a flat earth theory and is taken as the word of God. Yet in the flat earth world, you never see the Srimad Bhagavatam mentioned, you never see it argued, you never see it. And I've looked into this out of curiosity. I'm like, oh, they must bring the Srimad Bhagavatam up into the discussions of why the flat earth is a legit theory. They never do. They don't know about it. Or they write it off. But some people believe that it is endorsed by the Srimad Bhagavatam, and being that this is the word of God, it is unquestionable. It's a flat earth. But if you didn't catch it, it was, here it is. Verse 26 would be proof of this. It says, please kindly describe how the planets are situated above the earth, as well as those underneath it. Well, above and underneath, if it's a globe, is that really what is it saying, well, above as in the North Pole and below as in the South Pole? You can interpret it that way. Some do. Others interpret it as no, because technically the North and South is just our view, because certainly if you're on the South Pole, you think you're standing up. You're not thinking it's all relative, so there really is no top and bottom. And even if you're looking at the movement of the Earth around the sun, well, where's the top and bottom? Why aren't we moving like this or like this? It's all relative. So they're saying that this line is one of the many lines in the book that says, no, here's a planet, and then somewhere in the middle is the Earth. I just thought that was interesting. Like I said, some people believe it, some people don't. I'm not discussing on this channel because it's not really relevant to what we're reading. But if we read something about flat Earth theory, then I will share and talk and whatever. But I just thought that was kind of interesting. So, anyways, thoughts, comments, all that good stuff down below. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.